Well, hello folks, and welcome to another edition of the Bill Crane Report with my good friend Dwayne Weiss with me.
Hi, boys and girls.
And we've got a ton of stuff for you. Now, interspersed in this is some of my quick hitters. So we'll start off with a couple of those. We'll get some serious stuff too. Dwayne.
Yes.
What percentage of men do you think sleep fully clothed? In other words, full set of pajamas.
Oh, okay. You don't mean parkas and everything?
No.
Well, I do in the wintertime.
Overcoats. Right.
Let's see.
Whoops.
Okay. Percentage, well, 30.
31.
31.
Yeah. What percentage of men sleep partially clothed? I imagine this is like a T-shirt or something, and socks,
boxer
maybe.
shorts or something.
Yeah.
I got 60, 65.
52%.
52. Yeah.
Naked.
Completely naked?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'd say 12.
17.
17.
Yeah,
Right.
so 52, 31, and 17 adds up to 100. But I thought that was interesting because I have never owned a pair of pajamas in my life. I suppose back when I was a kid, 3 or 4, I might have had them, but...
I have them only because I get them sometimes for Christmas presents.
Yeah.
But a couple pair are still up in the closet. They've never been used. But I've been known to, what do they call it, go commando in the dead of winter or dead of summer when it's just boiling upstairs.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. And I get guff for it, too.
Yeah. Oh, well.
You're not going to sleep like that. I said, I certainly am.
Are they going to have inspectors come in the middle of the night?
What if we had to leave the house quick? Well, I said, I don't care if it's that serious. Who cares?
Oh. All right, we've solved that mystery. Interesting. This is, okay. What is the average length of time on a job in this country? Working for one country, a company, or one government?
On the average, I'm going to say 5 or 6 years.
4.2.
4.2?
Yeah. How many the average years someone spends in one home?
10.
5.9.
Well, that one surprised me.
Well, I think there's people traveling for work. They have to move, upscaling, downscaling. But I think that's low, too. How many years do people spend in a marriage?
Oh, my God. 8.
19.5. Well, most of them are shacking up now.
That's what I was going to say. A lot of people just don't get married anymore.
Yeah. But the ones that do, 19.5. How many people in the U.S., this is based on Social Security information, how many people in the U.S. earned over $50 million in wages? Not something from a trust or an inheritance, but from wages.
How
from
many?
Work. How many people? Count-wise.
Over 50 million?
Yeah.
100.
205.
Okay.
And the average was 97.3 million.
Holy. I guess we bring the average down, huh?
Yeah. How many people made between 20 million and 50 million?
2,000.
938.
938?
Yeah. That's a pretty darn prosperous bunch of numbers, I would say.
Yeah, because that's not to have inherited.
Right.
But to make it is a different big difference.
Actually working for an entity and to be making it. Now, I wonder if that counts equity managers that handle other people's money and their commissions? I would guess it does.
I would guess it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we have a wave of unknown, undocumented humanity storming the southern gates.
Yes, we do.
First of all, what's interesting to me is these people, this is obviously well orchestrated. Yeah. I mean, who feeds them?
My first thought and comment was, who is behind this? Because you don't get that many people in a place like Ecuador and these places that are not organized to start with. All of a sudden, get them and say, here's what we're going to do.
Now, march in place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Stick together.
There's somebody or some group behind them doing that.
So someone's feeding them.
Yep.
Someone shows them where to sleep or has mattresses out or something.
Routes all been laid out for them.
Who guides their route?
Yep.
What, do they arrange porta-johns the whole way?
Good point.
And these vehicles, a lot of them
maybe you wouldn't
ride.
want to be following them too close.
That's it. The critters that live in the woods must be assaulted by all of this. Whose vehicle is this that's riding along? They're all piling on.
I don't know. Those are mysteries.
So this isn't just a popular wave of people that have said, we're going to America, the land of milk and honey. And
I'll tell you, this is my own paranoia or skepticism, but I wouldn't be surprised there's a group behind it that's waiting for a confrontation at the border to make Trump look bad.
Now, I'm glad you said that because I'm going to ask you what we're going to do about this, but here's an interesting thing they had on Fox this morning. The DNC is telling all their co-conspirators around the country, do not talk about immigration. It's a loser for the Democrats. Mm-hmm. Now, our nation is being invaded.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to, because obviously the majority of the Democrats are not happy with this invasion also, along with the Republicans. But it's the party itself, the theorists that want open borders and all that stuff.
Notice that the composition of that group, well, not totally, but it's heavily young men,
yes, sir.
18 to 25.
Let's face it, Dwayne. Who's going to embark on a 3,000 or 4,000 mile walk?
That too. But there's something there. There's some reason for that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's a group they can speak to.
Yep.
And they say, we're going to feed you and clothe you and all of that. And when the lights go out at night, you'll hop on a truck and they'll take you 150 miles or so.
I suspect that's happening.
Yeah. All right. So we decided what it is. What is the president going to do about it? Now, you're his chief advisor. Boy. Tell me what you'd tell him.
How much do I get paid for this job?
Slightly more than you're making on this one.
Well, I don't know. That's going to throw me in a whole new tax bracket. Bill, I don't know. He's damned if he's damned if he does, and he's damned if he doesn't.
The theory is Heartland America is 100% in the Trump camp over this.
Yep.
And they will support him if he calls out the armed forces.
Oh, I don't.
And closes down the border.
I don't doubt that he's going to close the border down.
Yeah.
I don't think you have any choice.
Yeah. You can't.
Because here's what worries me. The 7,000 was 7,000. If you could theoretically say, yeah, come on in, hell, the Midwest states could use them working on farms. They're that short of labor anyway. But it's a precedent. 7,000 today, they say, well, they did it.
Let's us do it.
Yeah,
then there'll
tomorrow.
be 14,000.
Yeah, then
marching.
50,000,
Yeah.
100,000.
Yeah.
Then there's no end to it. It's just we're going to empty out Central and South America.
Yeah, yeah, and no one's going to win this. I think he'll shut down the border, and I think he'll call out the military, whether it's reserves or whether it's components of the 101st Airborne or the 1st Infantry Division or
It's
whatever.
sad too, because a lot of those people that are on this march should be the very ones that are home trying to make change there. We're brain draining these countries and labor draining them.
I'm afraid this outfit looks more like we're draining them of thugs.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
It's sort of like Castro when he opened up the prisons
Yeah.
to go. You know?
Yeah. I'm of two minds here. Look, we got to stop them, but we also have to take care of them. And we're going to have MASH hospitals on the Mexico side
Correct.
of the border to take care of the people that are hurting or whatever. And then we've got to figure a way, working with Mexico, where Mexico takes them, well, maybe we'll have to pay for it. That'll be a deep, dark secret. And tell the Mexicans you got to move them back to Guatemala.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen. It's certainly going to be interesting.
Yeah. The Republicans, looking at polling data, think this is a winner for the midterm elections.
Yep. Oh, yeah, because everybody's uneasy about this. Nobody likes this coming up.
And really, this is a time for both parties to say, look, we got to act in a bipartisan manner. We got to sit down and come up with a plan we can all live with and then do it. But the hatred that exists between the two parties is...
It's vile. I mean, it's gotten to the point.
It really is.
I'm surprised somebody hasn't really got hurt
Well,
so far.
yeah, the rep there from Louisiana got hurt.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's
He
right.
is shot, but damn few have.
Damn few, because all the nutcases out there that are being encouraged to do something.
How about the nutcases that's mailing bombs?
Yeah.
Who or what do you suppose is behind this?
Again, it's either a Looney Tune or it's a setup.
Yeah. What's interesting to me is they're just being mailed to Democrats.
That's what I mean. That's
Yeah.
what makes me a little suspicious.
I'm a little suspicious of this whole thing, too. I think the FBI will probably, within 2 or 3 more days, nail this guy because he's leaving his fingerprint. Not necessarily fingerprints, but he's leaving stuff
Prints,
on.
clues.
DNA.
They can get even how it's constructed or what the materials are, where the sourcing was.
Analyzing the packaging and this DNA being left there, no matter how hard he tries not to do it. And I say he, even though men do this, but it could be a woman.
Could be.
Who knows? All right. So, I have good news for you, my loyal viewing audience. I did not hit the lottery last night.
Well,
so
we got something in common this morning.
You failed miserably also?
I didn't buy a ticket.
Oh.
At 302 million to 1 odds.
I bought 5, $10.
Yep.
And on one line I got one line I got another, third line I got another, fourth line and fifth line I got nothing.
Yeah,
So
statistically, it's so bad
yeah.
to hit it. It's so long. I mean, somebody said it was not like chances of getting hit by lightning, but it's the chances of getting hit lightning 12 days in a row.
Well, you're right. And but what the heck?
Well, see,
$10, what the hell?
Yeah, there's that what if factor. People buy these, even they know they're not going to win.
Right.
Or mostly, but right in the back of their mind is, what if? But then they get a little joy out of thinking, just sit and think, what would I do if I did get it?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. The good I could do.
Yeah.
You know, I won a $50 drawing when I was a kid at the Fireman's Field Day on Town Hill. The Fireman's Field Day. That hasn't been around since the mid-'50s. But I bought a chance for a quarter or 50 cents. I forget which.
Yeah.
I won $50. That's the only bloody thing I think I've ever won.
I won a bicycle when I was a kid.
Oh, boy.
On a drawing. And I heard my name called. I said, that can't be me. It must be somebody else.
Oh, boy. So, a couple of interesting numbers here. Hitting the jackpot means you're going to be keeping expensive company with other people. Robert Kraft is worth $6.6 billion.
Ooh.
Here's a shocker. Ernie Bach Jr., $1.1 billion.
That is, that's a little higher. I knew he was going to be worth big bucks.
Yeah. He sold
Yeah, I know they're gone.
most of his stuff. Yeah, I think he's got the Maserati.
Yeah, the Maserati and the
something
Ferrari
else.
and something up there. His toys, that's what those are.
And he's also got exclusive rights as a wholesaler for Subaru.
Subaru,
in
that's
New
right.
England.
He's
Yeah,
gotten finagled that.
that's got to be very lucrative. Giselle Bundchen, $360 million. Tom Brady, $180 million. She's worth exactly double.
Double him, yeah. We better be careful.
And the only other that was one of the most interesting ones. Those are the only ones. But this data comes from Bankrate.com and CelebrityNetWorth.com.
Where did Kraft make his money? Is it paper?
His father.
Yeah, his father?
And they did it by recycling cardboard.
Okay.
And they come up with a method to do it. All right. And they built paper mills, which they named Kraft Mills.
Okay.
And they were just for the exclusive recycling of cardboard. And bingo, he was a millionaire, billionaire.
Does that have anything to do with Kraft paper? The
Yeah.
paper bags or Kraft?
Right. Now, I'm not sure about that, but it could be that that is some of the stuff that is recycled into. But that's where he comes from, is the paper mills.
All right.
Any of you folks that haven't been close to a paper mill,
Ooh-wee.
that suffer from sinus trouble, just get on up there and take a couple of deep whiffs, and it'll clean your sinuses out forever.
You'd think the whole town's septic system's backed up. It does smell. I think it's the hydrogen sulfide or something that they use.
Yeah. And boy, does it chew up valves, too.
Oh, I'll bet it's caustic as hell.
Valve account of the paper mill
We lived
is a
about
big
25 or 30 miles downriver from a paper mill.
Yeah.
And on certain days, the humidity or the air pressure or whatever it was, it would follow that riverbed.
What paper mill was it?
One of the...
Was it Warsaw?
No. It was above... Chippewa Falls was where the paper mill was. Above Eau Claire. And it smelled.
Yeah.
You could smell it 30 miles away.
So when I was with Foxborough, I used to be in the... Well,
Weyerhaeuser was the owner.
Weyerhaeuser, yeah. And I knew all the names of all those places where my valves went. You know what's interesting and puzzling, and we'll have to get to more serious stuff after this, but this is serious. The cod catch is way off.
Yep.
The stocks have collapsed.
Yep.
So everyone knows that. And they're shutting down large areas to protect the cod. So guess who's objecting to this? The fishermen.
Of course.
It's like, I want to be the guy that catches the last living codfish.
That's right. That never made any sense.
Yeah, and here's the catch is dwindling down to nothing. And they still want to go out because It's my livelihood. I owe money on the boat. It's the only thing I know. I can't support my family otherwise.
So short-sighted.
It is. It is absolutely ridiculous.
It's like fishing with dynamite.
Yeah, that's right.
You got a good fishing hole, throw a couple sticks of dynamite.
Right,
And clean
kill
it out.
everything in the whole damn place. Yeah, but you can go pick them up afterwards. The ones that are still in one piece anyway. I'll never understand this.
Yeah, and they once the stocks get to a certain point,
They can't rebound.
no, they can't. They'll collapse because there's just not enough interaction between the males and the females and all that, whatever they got to do.
And not only that, but then these guys then go after subspecies.
That's right.
And what they're doing is wiping out the fish that the stripers, the cod, the haddock eat.
Mm-hmm.
This is, it is just, it's bound to destroy us and our fishing grounds. And you cannot talk to these people. Oh, my father fished for 50 years. What the hell's that got to do with anything?
Things change. They never want to never want to make any changes in this kind of thing. I think the alewife are coming back.
Yeah, they are coming back.
They're a good food fish for
feeder stock.
Feeder stock. Yeah.
But there are a couple of species that the lobstermen use for bait. Mm-hmm. They're getting scarce.
Yeah.
What are they going to put out there? Candy bars in their?
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man. So, changing the pace drastically.
Okay.
I've had people say to me, "How you doing today, Bill?" And hey, I'm doing okay. And reflecting on that a lot, many times, especially when I'm having a conversation with the fellow upstairs about how lucky I've been in my whole life. I've been healthy. Mm-hmm. Some people may argue this, but I've been reasonably intelligent.
Yep.
I've been successful. And I got a wonderful family.
Yep.
I mean, holy cow. If I was playing poker, I wouldn't want to throw this hand in and say, hey, deal me another.
No, I don't think it is.
But one day, I was going for, this is when I was walking around the neighborhoods before I joined the gym. This goes back, probably 15 to 20 years ago. And walking by my house was a lady. And she was walking uptown too. She was going up to the train station. Mm-hmm. And we had quite a conversation. And I wrote it down. And, for all you people that think you got dealt a couple of cards off the bottom of the deck, let me tell you about my conversation with Mary. I'll change her name. She's 50 years old, or was at the time. She has colon cancer, which is in remission. 5 kids. She's been addicted to painkillers from the cancer treatments. Yep. She became an addict on heroin. Her first husband died after 23 years of marriage. He was a heroin addict for 20 years. He was a gangster on the fringes of organized crime. He was in prison often. And she never knew he was a criminal till he died. She always thought he worked. I got a tough time with that, but
Okay, but still.
Yeah. She worked 20 years and was in a union. Of her 5 kids, 3 are drug addicts. One is in prison doing 15 to 20 for attempted murder. And that's where she had been, down visiting him.
Okay, yep.
The youngest daughter is getting married in October. She's remarried. She's very happy. She married an Indian man from Greenfield. They're living in South Boston, paying $1,700 a month for an apartment. She's on SSI food stamps and on a union pension. She tried working, but the money cut into SSI. They look for handouts from the food vans that come in and feed the homeless at night. She only gets $164 a month on food stamps. She's back to church, and she says it has saved her life. She walks by our house all the time, and she said, you know, I really love your house. That was my conversation with her. I mean...
Yeah. But you know, there are a lot of people in the world that really have it tough.
Yeah.
They've had it tough, and it continues. And a lot of things, the poor people, that it's not their fault. It's just a black cloud hung over their head from the time they were born. Things happened to them.
Mostly because it was probably not the greatest family atmosphere in the world, and it's like trickling down.
Yep. You start with that handicap right off the bat.
Yeah. Unbelievable. And also, I think one of her kids also died, I think. But anyway, pass that along because I wanted to share it with you folks that, you know, because you didn't hit the lottery, you're bummed out. Just think about, there's a lot of folks like that.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Well, many female executives think, this is a majority of female executives. They did a survey of 5,000, and they said very few have witnessed or experienced sexual harassment in the workplace, and they don't believe it's commonly happening. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, we have redefined sexual harassment, though.
Yeah.
To mean,
yeah,
God knows anything. It could be anything today.
Yeah, yeah.
It could be the innocent.
Yeah, like, holy cow, you look great today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're a pig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, put me in jail, I guess.
My secretary at Taylor Tools, you know, she'd come in, she was a good-looking lady, and she wasn't a kid anymore, but she came in like this one day. She had this beautiful green dress, and I said, Linda, you really look nice in that dress. She said, well, thank you. She says, I like it too. And it was nothing
sexual.
I just said, you really look good in that thing.
Yeah.
But today that could be taken wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It just past week or someplace where a kid wearing a backpack in a crowded deli or something brushed up, and the backpack brushed up against this woman.
Yeah.
She was 9 years old, and she was going to accuse him of sexual harassment.
Yeah.
Or sexual assault.
Backpack.
Sexual assault.
He was so short, the backpack rubbed up against her butt.
Yeah.
And she accused him of grabbing her butt.
We're getting ridiculous.
It's really bad. That's really and truly bad. Well, I'm going to share this one with you, and I guess then we're going to get serious. Nebraska is last as far as tourism in the U.S. is concerned, or towards the bottom anyway.
Okay. I can see that.
So they have launched a new tourism campaign, and it's Nebraska. Honestly, it's not for everyone.
If you're into wheat fields and corn, it is.
Yep. And that is going to replace the current Through My Eyes campaign. And they say that Nebraska consistently ranks as the least likely state tourists plan to visit. The marketing campaign is needed to change the direction. To make people listen, you have to hook them somehow. We have to shake people up a little bit. And one of the new video ads will begin running next spring, opens with a boy peering through oversized glasses into the camera. Then comes a voice. Nebraska is kind of like that odd kid. Didn't say much in school, slightly peculiar maybe, but when you took the time to get to know him, turned out to be a pretty interesting person.
Yeah. Nebraska's kind of hard to attract people. The only thing, I've been to Nebraska many times, but the only thing I ever thought of going there for is they got pretty good pheasant hunting.
Yeah, they do. They do, and it's a wholesome lifestyle, the farm life.
That it is.
Yeah.
It's
And they also have a picture of toadstool rock formations, and the ad is going to say, famous for our flat, boring landscape.
That's true. There's no hills. The prisons wouldn't even have to have a fence around the place because you couldn't get away. You could see them forever walking out there across the prairie.
At least Kansas has got some rolling hills and spots, you know. Well, time to get serious, I guess. Louis Farrakhan.
Oh, one of my favorite people in the whole world.
Yep. The Nation of Islam said, Jews are stupid.
That's not unusual for him.
But then he clarified his remark by saying, I'm not an anti-Semite, I'm anti-termite.
Yeah, he just dug himself in deeper.
Where is the condemnation?
There's nothing.
No. But if someone else, a conservative, an older white guy said something.
Oh, my God.
I mean, that would bring down the wrath of hell on him.
It would. But there are certain people that are privileged and protected.
Yeah.
And they have like the old space movies, like a shield, a power shield around them.
Yeah.
And you can't get through that because you don't dare say anything against him because right away you will be tagged as a racist.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. No, you know, it's hard to believe that a remark like that is not picked up and this guy given at least a spanking, but it's not.
No.
Well,
look at Al Sharpton, the stuff that he's gotten. His mouth is gone.
Yeah. Have you ever read the books on there was 2 books written about Tawana Brawley.
No, I haven't.
And that whole story. Boy, I'll tell you, he comes out of it bad.
Yeah,
and some of the admissions he's made, and he's been fined a certain amount of money, and he's supposed to be paying so much off every month. He's not paying anything to Tawana Brawley. Yeah, he's just thumbing his nose.
We were at a restaurant one time, and it was a Southern cooking type place. And they had the dishes named for people, well, you know. And what I wanted was the fried chicken. It was called the Al Sharpton. I said to the waitress, I'll have this. She says, what? This right here. Well, I said, I can't say it.
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken. Oh, you mean? You said, I can't even let that guy's name come out of my mouth.
I'm telling you.
Chicken was good, though.
Yeah. But the chicken was good yesterday.
That was good.
That was good. I'm surprised that it was as good as it was.
You folks that are not coming to the lunches on Wednesday, you're missing a good deal.
Well.
And good food, though.
The buck.
Yeah.
For $1.
$1.
Yeah.
Join the friends and
yep.
Lunch is $1.
That's right. And our numbers keep on going up.
Yeah.
I got another note on this same piece of paper, so maybe I better roll this one out.
Okay.
If we can solve this one, Dwayne, we're going to be in a big think tank down in Washington.
Yeah, we'll be in some kind of tank, right?
The drunk tank.
Yeah.
Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Iran, and the USA. The puzzle that must be understood.
Yep. It's a total enigma when you mix them all together.
Yep. And yet we are tied together, the 4 of us.
Yep.
You could throw Israel in there too if you wanted to make it, but right now Israel's on the sidelines. So that's another story for another day. But we've got this Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Iran. Now, we want to stay friends with Turkey and Saudi Arabia, okay?
Yep.
Because they are the buffer that is holding Iran in place.
Absolutely.
But Yet, Turkey and Saudi are from a totally, completely different culture than we are.
Yep.
And we are really feeling the pressure to do something, especially about this Khashoggi business. Now, for any of you folks that don't know, this man is a Saudi who has been very critical of the Saudi Arabian government, the House of Saud, and has left and become a, he's got a green card to live in the U.S., a permanent green card. And he's a writer for newspapers, and he publishes editorials about the truth about the Middle East.
Absolutely.
Well, he's honed in on the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, and their only, well, solution to the problem, I guess, was to kill him.
Yeah. I think
And they used the fact, he wanted to get married. And so he's afraid to go back to Saudi Arabia because he knows what was waiting for him there. So he made arrangements. They tempted him somehow. Why don't you go to the Saudi consulate in Turkey?
Yep.
And they will take care of getting your birth certificate, all that stuff, and then you can get married. Well, guess what happened?
They were waiting for him.
Yeah, there were 16 Saudi commandos waiting for him. They tortured him, murdered him, dismembered him, beheaded him, and that was the end of the story.
Yep.
So now we've got two problems. First of all, obviously the biggest problem is with Saudi Arabia, but was Turkey complicit in this? Well, jeepers creepers, they had to have been brain dead not to have seen what was going on.
Turkey's a fair weather friend if you go back.
Yeah.
One day they're our friends, best friends,
In
NATO
they're
member,
in NATO, yep.
and then the next day they're way on the other side. You never know. They flip back and forth all the time.
Well, Erdogan is not the rock of solidarity.
No, hardly.
And he's going more and more towards a very hardline dictatorship. That was a democracy at one time in Turkey. And Iran is the local bully. Everyone in the Middle East hates Iran, fears Iran, and the Saudis are really caught in a trap of their own making.
Yeah.
Because as one smart guy said a few days ago, if the U.S. ever said to Saudi Arabia, we're pulling out, we're not backing you, it's you against Iran. We're not going, if they invade you, we are not getting involved. He said Saudi Arabia would last less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And they would be totally overwhelmed. Now, they know that. They know that we bailed them out. And by the way, it's a poorly kept secret, but we have troops in Saudi Arabia. So here we are propping them up on the world stage because it's like a boxing match, and we're the boxing manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll send them into the ring with Iran.
And, rightly or wrongly, and more wrongly probably than rightly, we've looked the other way with Saudi Arabia for a long time when it comes to human rights and women's rights and that strict form of Islam that they have.
Wahhabism, yeah.
But we accepted that.
We did.
We just kind of, that's them,
I guess it's sort of like going to a dance with a girl that's not of your choosing, but she's father's got plenty of money, and they came and picked you up in a Cadillac and took you out to a restaurant and fed you and then took you to the dance and all of that, and it was a pretty good deal. And that's what they're doing with us. I mean, when we say to them, turn the spigot on,
Yep.
all right, we need to balance the amount of oil that's on the shelf in the world, they do it.
They do it.
They object and they say, you know, we're not a tool for you. But then a month later, guess what happens?
It's coming on, yeah.
So we have this long-standing, very awkward relationship with this country that serves both countries well. They are our bulwark. That's a new word you don't hear often.
Not very often.
Against Iran. They and Turkey both. They both share the border with the with the Iranians, and we sell them arms.
A lot of them.
A lot of them. We buy their oil.
Yep.
And we, generally speaking, cooperate with them. And we look the other way at their the way they treat women. Their whole society is just ass backwards.
Yeah,
But then again,
that's them.
That's them.
That's been like that for thousands of years.
That's right. And who are you to tell us how to live? This is what our religion teaches us, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And you got to say to yourself, you're right, we got to mind our own business.
If you don't like something with a country like, say, Saudi Arabia, you just don't like it.
That's it.
It's their business what they want to do. If they really don't like it, they'll change it, or somebody will change it. But do what you want, just don't bring your stuff here.
All right.
Don't bring your values and your morals and your everything else to us.
Well over the line, though, with 9/11.
Yeah.
Those were Saudi Arabian
Yeah.
terrorists. And I'm sure they paid for that.
Oh, yeah. Over and over.
Yeah. But so what's the solution here, Dwight? Or is there one? Or is this just, you got to write it off that it's the Middle East?
I think that's probably the best answer there is.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there is an answer when you deal with that group of individuals.
You know what the shame of all this is?
What's that?
Is the Iranians are not Arabs, they're Persians,
That's
for
right,
one
they are.
thing. So they're kind of out of kilter with the rest of the Middle East. But they are a very intelligent race of people.
They are.
They've been well educated. Go back to the Shah. The people in Iran were the best educated people in the Middle East. And certainly Iranians have come to this country and made major contributions.
I knew the son of the Minister of Education under the Shah.
Yeah.
I knew him quite well.
Well, you see, and they assimilate also into this country.
Oh, yeah. I had known him for 6-7 months. I had no idea he was even Iranian.
Yeah.
I thought he was Italian.
Yeah. I have a friend of mine, his daughter went to private school, and she came home one day and said, my classmate has promised that their grades 1 through 8, on graduation, that my father is going to take us on a trip to Jordan and the Middle East. And we're picking up the tab for it and all that. And my friend said, oh boy, the stories. Guess what?
Yeah.
They did. He was the head of Royal Jordanian Airlines.
Oh boy, yeah.
And they had quite a time. You never know.
I got suspicious of this individual when he would buy things or spend money. You know, college kids, come on.
Yeah.
We were lucky if we could come up with a 12-pack of Strohs. You know, that was a pretty cheap beer in those days.
Remember it well.
And Nadir was his mind. Hey, he said one day, he says, come on. He says, let's go downtown. He says, there's a watch I want to look at. It was one of them new, they were new in those days. You pressed the button and it had the red LED numbers on them.
Yeah.
$2,000.
Yeah.
And he looked at it and he says, I'll take it. I couldn't buy the box.
You know,
He just casually bought it.
I met some guys from, I think it was the 2nd Armored Division in Germany, and that was Elvis Presley's division. And they were telling me stories about Elvis Presley, and they said, they loved him.
Oh, I bet.
Not only did he always pick up the tab for everything, but they said he volunteered for everything. He wanted to do everything. And if there was a dirty job where a bunch of guys had to go dig a ditch, he wanted to go with them and do it.
Yep, he was different than the celebrities that you could think of.
Yeah. And, well, we didn't solve the Middle East.
We're not going to solve that Middle East. That is going to go on and on and on.
You know, you say to yourself, we can solve things here in this country with the passing of generations. But you know what? The next generation is not going to be any great shakes in the Middle East, in any of those countries.
Well, the Mores stay because they're ingrained in religiously, most of them.
That's exactly.
Their traditions are so much stronger and older than we are. Mm-hmm. We're such a mix of every country mixed together.
That's
right. We got something in this country goes back to 100 years, and they think, oh my God, it's ancient.
Yeah.
100 years is yesterday in some of these other countries.
Exactly. That's why dealing with these people, and the Chinese too,
they
take a look. When we're talking about something, they're looking 50 or 100 years out.
That's right.
And we're looking at the day after tomorrow.
Yep, exactly.
Another good word that I enjoy is tumult.
Yeah.
I never hear that anymore.
You don't see that. You don't see it written either.
No, but I thought it fitted some of the counter demonstrations of the Democratic Party. Or I shouldn't say that. The left wing here in this country, are the things that they're doing, countering speeches, countering free speech on campus. They're acting out just like stormtroopers did in Nazi Germany.
Exactly right. They are accusing the left, are accusing the right of being Nazis when they are acting more like Nazis than Nazis themselves.
That's right. And for you folks that may have forgotten a little bit about history, the Nazi Party had its roots in the rabble, if you will.
Yep.
Beer halls, street corners. Now, in Nazi Germany, in the Weimar Republic back in the 1920s, there was tremendous upheaval, political upheaval. And the communists were on this street corner, on soapboxes at night, talking. There was no mass media, by the way, no radio or TV. And then over there, the Social Democrats were on their soapbox. And over there, there'd be another group, and the Nazis, National Socialist Workers' Party, carved out their group. And then they had thugs join their group.
Nazis could fight a little better.
That's right. They would go to the other street corners and fight the other politicians that were speaking. That's how it all began.
Yep.
Violence in the streets. Look what's going on in this country. Look what happens when conservatives want to speak at UCLA.
They're shouted down or ran out.
Yeah, and there's violence.
Yep.
There are people knocking each other around. This is it. Man, I'm telling you. And then they call the right Nazis.
Yeah.
Other way around.
It's the other way around.
Other way around. Dwayne, in Massachusetts, we gotta, for us to be we think of ourselves in Massachusetts, we're very arrogant. We think of ourselves as the beaming light to enlighten the U.S. and the world.
Hub of the universe.
Yeah. But in the state police, the head of the state police has to be a member of the state police. And the governor has to take a state policeman and promote him or her to colonel. And that signifies that they are the head of the state police. A civilian cannot run the state police.
Bad policy.
Yeah, and our governor, Governor Charlie Baker, has said he's maybe willing to talk about this.
Yeah, think we better do more and talk.
You know, by the way, you know, Deal is running against Elizabeth Warren, and when asked if he was going to support Deal, the governor said, "Well, I don't know. Not sure about what I'm going to do." Will you tell me what is going on in his head?
He's afraid there's so much anti-Clinton or Trump involved. It's such to most of these heavy Democratic states, Trump is a vile word.
Oh, absolutely.
They don't want any connection to him. You know, Deal or did with Elizabeth Warren, and she said, well, she quoted that he said that in a room that he had Trump's back. Well, that's all she had for the argument was that one quote. But she used it over and over and over as if, so what?
Do you know that she shares a trait with Hillary Clinton?
Oh, absolutely.
They cannot speak in public, and they cannot face questions.
Yep.
They cannot think on their feet, either one of them. Well, if they are such slow thinkers, or dare I say dullards, that they have to be programmed before they can talk, how could they function at a level like the presidential level?
I watch that debate, and I'm like yelling out stuff. Don't do that. Do this. Do this. Because Elizabeth Warren has got a trigger. She gets mad. And he got her mad one time. She was starting to really get off the end. I said, Monica, this is where you ought to go for the throat. Get her so mad she can't even talk. And she just stands there like a deer in a headlight because she's just fuming.
Yep. Her handlers won't let her have give and takes when she goes around the country to speak at these things. It's all pre-programmed, and she reads it off a teleprompter. Well, Hillary had the same problem.
Hillary was the same thing.
Yeah, same exact thing.
Then when she would get off, and then she'd stick her foot in her mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, 5.
I got some more about this business here, the state police. But
I got a question for you.
Hold it. Let's have it.
What are you doing on question 1 and 3?
Okay.
That probably is gonna show up. This show will probably show up just before the election.
Yeah, I'm voting no on 1.
Yep.
And no on 3. Oh, wait a minute now.
Wait, what's
3 is
3 is to continue what we got, or they word them so
I know it.
crazy sometimes.
I believe that we sort out the genders by what you're born with.
I agree with you.
And to have you, or have me, let's call it me, come in a dress for our next show and saying, I've changed my mind, I'm going to present as a woman from now on.
It's crazy.
So everybody has to change everything about me?
Because you want to believe now that you're a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. There's no proof, no nothing.
No. And you know what's even crazier is on your driver's license, M, F, or X.
X. Now that
the unknown factor.
That to me, that I was going back to the genetic factor, the X's and X's and Y's.
Yeah, X's and Y's. Yeah.
Yeah, that to me, that had some bearing there, but apparently they didn't think of that. Now that one, the nurses, we've got 3 nurses that are registered nurses. 2 of them are retired, and 1's still active. They said, I don't know where they're getting this. 89% of nurses are voting for it. They said just about everybody they know that field, they're voting against it. They're voting no. It's terrible legislation. The idea is there, but the way it's written is so terrible.
Yeah, I can understand that. Now listen, if somebody said, there should be a well thought out plan of minimal staffing, that's one thing.
That's one thing.
But to say that You cannot bring someone into the emergency room unless there is a full complement of 6 nurses in the emergency room.
That's right.
So what the hell is somebody supposed to do? Lay out on the floor out there and bleed to
The
death?
only other state that has done this is California.
Oh,
then it's not. Of course, we do whatever California does.
Yeah, right.
Okay, too. But then they got a thing called holding the wall. The EMTs to come in with an ambulance, they got to sit out in the hall and wait for something to open up, so they meet that staffing ratio.
Do you know when I was an EMT on the Norfolk Fire Department, I wheeled people into the emergency room, and I'd catch a nurse, and I'd say, look, this one's tough.
Yeah.
All right, wheel them right in here.
Yeah.
Bang.
Can't do that with
Can't
that.
do that.
Can't do that.
No.
No. That poor guy could croak out in the hall, but
Exactly.
you can't do it.
Yep.
So be careful how you vote, folks. Sometimes it's sort of like be careful who you elect because you just might get them.
Well, you know what? That's it. Beware of what you wish for.
That's right. That's what my mother used to tell me.
Yeah.
What you wish for, you might get it.
You know, I got one more thing.
Okay.
No, I'm going to save that for next time. That one there takes a little bit of talk. But Charlie Baker says he would consider a state police rule change. I don't think the rank and file is going to be happy about this, and that is exactly why he's wording it the way he is.
Yeah, that's right.
He is running for governor. I think he's going to win, but he's trying to offend no one.
Yeah, but it's time we stop letting the tail wag the dog at the state police.
I agree with you totally. And one more thing, too. This business about dumping raw sewage into the Merrimack River and then downstream people pulling the water out and sending it to their treatment plants, treating it, and then letting people drink it is what? And we're supposed to be the shining light among states. We are the, and how about Boston? We are the hub of the universe. Yep. This is what the hub does, dumps their sewage into a river.
Yeah, that's right.
When they're not supposed to be doing it, and they should be being fined and, all right.
Told you. We should make T-shirts that say OIM on it. OIM, only in Massachusetts. Now watch, the stores will be full of them now because we just gave somebody an idea.
Yeah, we'll send the royalties right here.
Right here, yep.
Listen, folks, I'm glad you tuned in. And I probably talked about 5% about what I want to talk about. Dwayne's got a pile of stuff.
We do this every week, or every time. So
it happens every time. So what we're going to do is we are going to come back and bother you again shortly. So look for us.
Stay warm. And vote.
Yes. And go Red Sox.
That's right.
All right. Good night, folks.